Hi. We have done history year one through the good and the beautiful, and me and my children have loved it. We have two kids that are actively participating in the lessons because they're at the age where they can understand and have really enjoyed it. Since we have three kids, our toddler's too small to understand what's going on, and he's just run around and enjoyed while we have this family time of learning together. So it was such a family all-inclusive book for us. My children loved the stories, both in the history book and then also in the big book of history stories. They loved the illustrations, they loved snuggling around the fire reading these together, and I think it really reinforced what we had been hearing from the recordings and from the year one course book. So when we first got it, the way we set it up is I made each kid a binder, and I printed off all the Student Explorer worksheets and 3-hole punched them so they had them in their binder to just go through and finish them as we went through the lessons. And then we went and got the books for the unit read alouds. We were able to get them all used and got these awesome books that we would spend about 20 minutes each night reading, and my husband wanted to head up that reading of these history books. So as we went through the course, we had these really fantastic books that we were reading along with them. We loved the recordings. We just downloaded them once we purchased the course, and I had them both on my phone and my computer, and the kids loved them. Every night they were convinced that it was really happening live somewhere, that they were really these true amazing experiences that these little characters were having in these recordings. So they were really lively and really awesome. So my kids were in the Student Explorers for 1st to 3rd grade, and these assignments were really simple. Majority of them were coloring or doing a map or some sort of a reinforcing idea from the course lesson that they had just done. Really easy. It was extremely unstressful for them, and it wasn't about memorizing all these facts and things that were more than they could handle. It was just this really easygoing but fascinating study of the history of our world. So I loved it because none of the lessons were the same. Every time we did history and we sat down together, it was different. It was exciting, and we only did a couple without my husband, and then he overheard some of them, and then it ended up being the whole family would do history together in the evenings. So we decided to do them on Monday and Wednesday nights. And we go through a lesson. It'd take us about an hour. We'd work on the memorization at the beginning, some fantastic quotes from important people in our past, and then we do the unit read aloud most nights of the week as well, and then go on to the lesson. So about an hour, and we loved it. It was a really wonderful thing to implement into our nights, and I think we all learned a lot. So sometimes in the lessons there'd be optional activities that I felt added a lot. They made things come more alive, like making bread, kind of like the unleavened bread that they would have had in the Passover, or making a costume part that would go along with an Egyptian pharaoh. And we really liked those activities. I feel like that they made it really fun for everyone. So when I first read about the progression of the lessons for year one, that it went from kind of the beginning of time until modern times, and then each of the history 2, 3, and 4 were going to do the same, just highlighting different important parts of history, I was a little concerned that that might not really work well, but I think it's a fantastic way to learn about the past, and it surprised me that it was really productive way to learn about history. So I loved that the Bible was incorporated, and that the growth of Christianity through all different countries and all different times was important, and that we got to highlight the ways that Jesus Christ was playing an important role in history. And my children were really able to see that his teaching shaped the growth of countries and nations, and they gained such an understanding of how God's hand and word has played an essential role on this earth. So we've always looked forward to our next lessons, and we found a great amount of joy in learning together, and we look forward to doing year 2.